Suggestion, you steered me wrong in the dream. But... Oh, we're not getting shot at.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Alright. He's like, he would know what the fuck that means. You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belle McGrave?
It's a 3-Yangon 446.
So much for trying to look smart.
Whoa! Massive gun!
Kuno. Shut the fuck up.
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
He pats it.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
Seems like soldier to soldier talk. Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck.
Sir, I can show you my score. I'm not a fascist at all.
Have you come to make me one of them?
His grip on the rifle tightens.
Fuck yeah, this is happening!
He comments breathlessly in awe of the potential violence implied. Shut the fuck up, Kuno!
He's high off the fair.
I'm gonna ask one more question before we... I just want to know what this is. This Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
His gaze turns inwards. And this is... I mean, I don't want him to have a gun. It might provoke him, but... Since when have police cared about that? Sir, I need you to put that gun down so we can talk further. We're with the police.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am glad I decided to put my hat on. I'm glad I remembered that. I hope stopping that actually... God, I don't know. I knew that was a bad idea. I knew it. I hope stopping it is enough. Alright, I am an enemy commander of rank. Put it down.
The words, I am an enemy commander, sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
At least I know it's possible to stop. That's good.
And what rank would that be, dog?
Lieutenant Double Ifrit.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then stares at it. Just lying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
No, I'm not going to take the gun from him. Not yet. Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again. Dead and dull.
Wait. Like the fucking ancient army.
You're a holdover from the army of the Commune of Revachol?
Yes, I am from the Insulindian Citizens Militia. Recruited from Jamrock in 07. Trained in the École de Contrôle Arion. Consigned to emergency defense duties in 08.
Alright. So that means he called me like, I'm sure I'm just misremembering some information I learned earlier. The fact that he called me a fascist fuck makes me think that he is a communist, but I think this means he was actually fighting against the communists, and he just considers the communists fascists, but he was already in Revachol. I don't know. I feel like I should be putting this together, but I've been delirious and on pain meds for a while, so go easy on me.
I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
I think he's a communist, or communard, as they would say. How long have you been on this island?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
This may end the chain here, but I want to know. So you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Wait, what does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
My pig asked you a question. Quit spazzing out and tell him about the...
The kid doesn't get to finish the sentence.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique, is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
So you were like a priest?
No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
Interesting. It means you were trained communist, right?
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
This seems stupid. Again, why break tradition? I'm also a communist.
No, you're not. You're a liberast.
God, am I reading Twitter now? No, I really am a communist. I have communist thoughts in my head.
All the real communists are dead. They died fighting for communism. Are you dead?
Are you dead?
You're an inert lump with a gun.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism.
Yeah. How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Let's not say that. What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How's your health?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
Kuno's dad has this shit. Wine belly. The cops can take care of this, right? Medicine shit. With, like, facilities.
Yes. It may be serious. Cancer, even. The police can give you medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You also have Druamine.
We have Druamine and other opioid-based painkillers. Must be in pain.
I have been running out of that stuff.
I found some on the island.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
Oh, he's got the DTs. Okay. Jesus. How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
Do I give a shit what Kuna's about to say? I don't know. I'll just nod appreciatively. I also live in hell.
At least you know it. The traders of this city turned the lights back on in the 30s, after the fighting stopped. Ruins, glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the 10s. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
What was it like?
What was it like? There was hope. A little hope. They needed to snuff it out. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Krasmasov coursing in their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after
All we
dark
found.
then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
So in the city you move underground?
Bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
He falls silent. His gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. The weapons cache under Song is then going to be in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belma Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
And there's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker? I ask as though I don't remember what I found.
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves? I feel like I'm playing The Ascent now. And yes, it is an insult to the writers, because usually they're better than this.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
I'm not gonna ask this. Tell me another
The old
thing.
man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
I honestly don't know what prompt is the thing that moves forward. But I'll just keep going. What is this place? This island?
It's not an island. What? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
Okay, and what was it used
A
for?
congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing? Retaking of Rivashal?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
First, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people death blow?
Murderers. I know what you mean.
You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis.
Iblis?
The black-eyed angel.
Thanks for clearing that up. You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered.
Jesus.
I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of
You
faith.
could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
It wasn't reaction. You were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And when was this
May
exactly?
the 13th, 08.
You know the fucking day?
4 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower,
He gestures toward it.
huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know
Know what?
that the bourgeois are not human.
Let's say nothing and let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you. shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. I have a feeling this is the end of the line, so I'm gonna ask this again. You've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
I don't even know what that
It's
is.
inhuman. It's sick. It's not how a human being should live, but I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic.
You're fucking welcome, John.
Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
I know.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
That was the last thing I expected him to say. Or...
Girl, child, revolution.
is that the voice? Girl, child, revolution?
Always.
She better come. I too have given my life to Mazovian socioeconomics.
A waste. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Because you can't do that shit yourself, dude.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession would lighten the load.
Suggestion, you stared me wrong in the dream. But... kind of makes sense that it would. If I think about it. Because it's not like that's real. It's my own mind playing tricks on me. What have you done then?
I just mourn.
He stares right through you. Then blinks again. You said this is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. The so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
I feel like this is the time to leave politics out of it. I'm with the RCM. Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde.
And the reality is, it doesn't matter how many communist prompts I've chosen up until now. Yet, and this is probably intentional, it's always felt like playing at communism. Because that's all I could really do. Couldn't leave the RCM and join the labor movement or fuck around with the guys in their room, right? I always had to be part of the RCM no matter what I did. Because it would take real bravery to question my station. I mean, maybe there's a way to play through the game where you don't. But I don't know.
Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Now I think I'm going to pick up the gun lying in the sand.